Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and it is a very wet, slippery looking Thursday. You know I love Thursdays. It's retirement Thursday. I mean, well, it's retirement Friday for, you know what I mean. Tomorrow is Friday and I don't work Fridays, for those of you who don't know what on earth I'm talking about. It is 7 degrees Canadian and 45, positively balmy, 45 American. And you might wonder why I always give it in both. It's because the majority of my markets is either here in Canada or in the States, the majority being in the States, so the least I can do is give it to them in their way of thinking. It is wet, and owing to the fact that it's wet, you're probably wondering, why aren't you wearing a raincoat, Sal? That is a good question, one that I've thought about myself, and for which I do not have an answer. And also, owing to the fact it is October the 31st, you're probably asking, and where is your Halloween outfit, Sal? Well, the thing is this, if I wore my Halloween outfit now, I'd probably get stopped by the police for endangering public. So I'm only going to put it on when I get to work. And even then, I've only got headgear this year. So that's really important. Now, of course, if I decide to do a broadcast tonight, which I may or may not do, depending on how I feel when I get home, some of you will probably see it then, if I do it. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that my new windscreen wipers make nearly as much noise as my old ones. No doubt in my mind that you guys are definitely enjoying the doofus reports. The other thing is, an awful lot of you seem to enjoy the bread making thing. And yet, I didn't hear any reports back of anybody actually having tried it. So if you did try the bread, the no knead bread thing, let me know. Just so that I can find out how it worked for you. I did find out, I don't know if I told you, I did find out why it stuck to my baguette pan. So that's an important one. And that is because the no-knead bread is inclined to be a little sloppier than the regular dough. And that what happens is that as it rises up, but it also rises down into the holes and then grabs hold. So you have to make a slightly thicker dough, even more flour, for the if you're going to use the baguette pan, or use parchment paper, which is what my plan is the next time I do it. See how that works. Just put it on some parchment paper and then move it across. So that will be fun, hopefully. Of course, with my luck, I'll probably burn the parchment paper and yeah, never mind, we won't go there because yeah, you can all imagine it, I'm sure. Apparently I'm not the only car on the road today. A lot of cars on the road today. How dare they? Don't they know that I need a free run into work? I'm feeling I've got a bit of a cold going somewhere. Slight stuffiness in the nose is what's happening to me at the moment. So, But I'm not going to get sick because I hate getting sick. It's such a waste of my time. So tomorrow I'm just trying to think what I have planned for tomorrow. I've got to go to the doctors, get some more medicines. Yeah, just the regular things, for my thyroid and cholesterol stuff, because I haven't quite got that under control yet, but doing a lot better. And let's hope that my blood pressure is staying well down. I can't imagine that it isn't, because I am behaving myself. I've got a fancy car behind me and I don't know which one it is. I wonder if you can see its headlights. It's got like eyebrows. That's rather cute. Probably can't see it. I know you want me to lift up the camera and show you, but I'll try and drive far enough away that maybe you can. I'm never quite sure which way to... It's rather cute. Don't know who decided to do that. Amused me for today. It's very Halloween-y, actually, I thought. Now, I notice a lot of cars just pulled aside to overtake what is now the truck ahead of me, which must mean that he has a speed problem. Or rather, doesn't have a speed problem because he doesn't have any. But we will see. No, he seems to be fine. It's the traffic ahead of him that's causing the slowdown, so all these people who moved to the side are now behind me. Or at least one of them is. That's so from right window. Alright, so what should we discuss today? This is a day of ghosts and goblins. So you probably want ghost stories. I know at least one person who does. I'm not sure. I probably told you guys this already. Probably last Halloween. But I have actually lived in a house that was haunted. And it was haunted by two different ghosts. One was quite a nice one. The other one, not so much. Now, the nice one we called Fred. I don't know why, but I lived in a 400-year-old house, which is difficult for anybody in North America to understand. But I lived in a 400-year-old house in England, and the doors were like this thick and solid, and the door handles were like solid iron, and it was amazing. The fireplaces were so big you could walk into them, because that was the source of heat, obviously. So you actually could walk into them. It was amazing. And they had little seats in them, so you could walk into them and sit down absolutely sort of in the fire almost, to keep warm. So it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful home in terms of it had, it's so difficult for anybody to imagine here, but it had leather wallpaper, tooled leather wallpaper. And if you've ever seen tooled leather, that's where it's got like impressions on it and everything. This was tooled leather wallpaper on the walls. Can you imagine that today? The dining room table sat 16. comfortably. And the chairs were tooled leather to match the wallpaper. And that's just the dining room. It always made me laugh because the actual house itself had 4 different driveways going to the house. Some were used by visitors. Some were used by farm vehicles. It was sat on 4,000 acres, so it was quite a big farm. And some were used by family. So it was like there were different entrances depending on who you were. Gives you some sort of idea of and it had its own village for the farm workers. So it was its own community. You sort of, if you worked on the farm, you lived on the farm. You got a cottage, and it was all part of the deal, sort of thing. And it had its own church, small as it was. It had its own church, and I believe, from what I've seen, when I've Googled it, somebody has turned the church into a house. To make a very nice one too. Of course, the garden's a little bit iffy. I don't think I want to be digging to plant a new tree, for example. If you get my drift. Because the garden of a church would be filled with, yeah, exactly. And so, I have this vision now, and I'm sort of going, oh yeah, I think we'll plant a new mulberry. I can't even say that today. New mulberry tree in the backyard, dear. Oh, look at that, some bones. No, I don't think that would please me at all, but I'm sure that the actual church itself would make a beautiful home, if done correctly, which I'm sure it was. Because I'm pretty certain, because of the age of that church, that they'd have very heavy restrictions about what you could do to it. You certainly couldn't touch the outside facade of it, because that would be heritage stuff for sure. So, anyway, Fred was the ghost that actually walked through doors. But he had a funny habit when he'd also open doors. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because you don't get to just have a little draft open a door that is yay thick, right? That requires some mechanical ability. So I never did understand why Fred didn't just, go through the doors, because that was he was able to do that. Why did he actually open them as well? And the only thing we can think of is that he just did it for fun, because he knew it would scare the living daylights out of us, which it did. He'd be sitting in the room and suddenly the door would open, creak. And I'm just like, oh gosh, no, Fred. So, for the longest time, you'd think it was somebody playing tricks on you, and then you realize nobody was playing tricks on you, because everybody complained of it, adults and children alike. And you learn not to complain about it, because nothing was going to stop it. But his fellow ghost, I can't remember that we ever gave him a name other than the poltergeist. We called him the poltergeist because that's what he was. He'd up and chuck things. He literally would pull bed covers. He would sometimes throw things off mantelpieces. And there was just something not nice about this one. And anybody who tells you that they don't believe in ghosts, they should have seen my dog. At certain times you could watch my dog, and he'd be lying at the bottom of the stairs. That was his preferred place to sleep, because nobody could go upstairs without him, sort of thing, or without him knowing. He didn't actually sleep upstairs, but so he always slept at the bottom of the stairs, so he could sort of see the goings on in every direction in the house. And every now and then you'd see him jump up, and his hackles would go right up on his back, and then you'd watch him look up the staircase, literally slowly, and you'd go, whoa, not nice. So I assure you, my dog believed in ghosts. No doubt about that whatsoever. So I'm hoping that this Halloween you had lots of ghosts and goblins come to your door and take candy. I hope at least some of them were grateful for it. There's part of me that goes that I think trick-or-treating should be limited to those under 7, sort of thing. Or maybe just limited to those who believe in Father Christmas. That would be clever. Because if you're old enough not to believe in Father Christmas, then you're old enough not to have trick-or-treating. That would be a very nice benchmark. McDonald's is drawing a roaring trade in coffee this morning. It's cold and it's damp. Everybody's stopping in there to grab coffee. There's a McDonald's just behind me. I just watched almost everybody crossing the street had McDonald's coffee in their hand. Anyway, so I'm hoping you had an awesome Halloween. They say here in my neck of the woods that the rain's going to stop by this evening, which is great, because I hate it when the little ones have to go out. In the wet. So the fact that they will be able to go out and hopefully be a little dry. Let's hope that the weather stops way before then, so that the roads are a little bit dry for them as well. As you can see, it's a particularly dark and dank, and it's a dark and dreary morning for me, and I trust that Halloween treats were wonderful. Now, I know a lot of you probably will only get your Halloween treats just after Halloween, when you reckon they'll all be on sale. Because it's really interesting, they actually package them in such a way that they can't resell them for Christmas. So this would be a good time to buy treats for stockings that you can put in their stockings. So that'd be a good idea. Oh, shush, silly thing. Makes such a noise. Why do my windshields make such a noise? Windshield wipers. Mind you, these are not as bad as my previous ones. My previous ones were really bad. So, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Be happy if you can, and if you can't be happy, make yourself do something that makes you laugh. And for those of you who've written to say that you do laugh out loud during the vlogs, even the ones that aren't meant to be funny, I am delighted to hear it. It was one of the strangest things in my life when I used to spend so much of my time being worried about people laughing at me, and I found out that actually life is a lot more fun when people laugh at you, as long as you don't take it personally. So whenever you guys write and tell me that I make you laugh, I smile, and I thank you for that, because that's a great gift that you give me, the gift to know that I made you smile when maybe you wouldn't have been smiling otherwise. So I just love it when you write and tell me that. It's just like, yep. Or when somebody writes and goes, I absolutely burst out laughing when, and then they'll tell me what I was talking about. And sometimes I don't even remember what I said. That's the funny thing. Okay, I wonder what the car's doing up on the side of the sidewalk with its flashers on. It's way off the road, so why have the flashers on? Anybody can see that the car is not meant to be on the sidewalk, so I think people could probably work out that there's a problem with it. Maybe they think a cop car would think that they parked there. Yeah, but if the flashers are on, the cop car will know there's a problem. Okay, sort of got it. Sort of. Not totally. I hope you've got great plans for this weekend. I've got to do yet another shop this weekend. Fresh fruit's running out rather fast, so I've got to do that. I've got to check in the bank this weekend. I'm going to do all that tomorrow, even though I will get a check today. Oh no, wait a minute, will I have time? Only if I do it after. I've got to go to the doctor before the noon broadcast. Okay, I've got to give that some thought. I'm going to plan that. Maybe go shopping after the broadcast. Come streaming home after the doctor, and then go out again after the broadcast. I think I might have to do that. Alright, I can handle that. So have a great day, everybody. Hope whatever it is, morning, evening, oh sorry, if you're trying to sleep, I'll be quiet now. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, and I will speak to you sometime over the weekend. Hopefully I will find at least enough footage to put at least one video up sometime over the weekend. My weekend starts tomorrow, as you know. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye for now.